everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Daria and today I'll be speaking to you about how to smash your assessment center. So well done for getting to assessment center stage, that's really good. And if you don't know what an assessment center is, usually it's a day-long interview, so it will start around 9 a.m. and then run all the way to 4 or 5 p.m. Obviously you'll get breaks and a lunch, where you will get an opportunity to chat to recent graduates or recruiters. But do bear in mind that you are being assessed the whole day, so even at those break times and lunchtime, please make an effort to speak to other students or the graduates or recruiters. Please ask them insightful questions and show your interest in the company or their work there. This will really benefit you in the long run because they do ask their graduates for input when making decisions. If someone has really stood out to them, you will get mentioned and you will get some brownie points. So usually this day comprises of multiple stages. There will be a group activity, an interview, a presentation. Also there might be some tests for them to double check that you do meet the requirements, so that you haven't just cheated during the exam ones, the online ones. So do practice them when before coming to the assessment center, once they have told you that they will be reassessing you again. In some scientific graduate schemes, they might give you a technical interview instead of these tests. So it does depend on the recruiter, and check with them what they will be expecting you to do during this day. Starting with a group activity, you will usually get some time at the beginning to look through the task by yourself and make some notes of what comments you will want to put forward to the group during the task. I would suggest volunteering yourself as a timekeeper because it just simply shows that you are good at time management, organization, and shows some leadership. You will need to just update your team members on the time. For example, when you have been working 10 minutes, just say it's been 10 minutes, we have 15 minutes left, maybe it would be a good idea to move on to the next task. And this is just a simple way of getting some brownie points. Now moving on, another thing that I would really strongly suggest during this group activity is putting your points across, but do not be dominating and just speaking over everyone. Find your best time to speak and just say what you have to say. Also do listen to others and do nod your head, and what the best piece of advice I would have for you is to build upon others' points. So if they suggest something, you say yes, we could do this by. Just really show that you're a good listener and a good team player, that you can work together with others to just come up with the best solution to this task. Another important point is to bring in some quieter individuals. You will be surprised by how much they do have to contribute. However, they are usually just quieter and they don't find the right time to speak. So by including them, you just show that you are inclusive and a good relationship builder. You can also do this by referring to others by names. This just shows you're quick and you're a very good and personable individual. Moving on to interviews, they usually will be 1 or 2 or maybe even 3 people interviewing you, and this is your opportunity to really show off your skills, your experience, your knowledge of the company and the industry, and how you would fit in there. Well, I've already done a video on interviews and how you can prepare beforehand and during or after, and please watch that if you think you'll find it helpful. But in brief, it's your opportunity to really make yourself stand out and sell yourself to the employer. So Some tips I would give you is to go through your work experiences or societies or any experiences that you think might be relevant beforehand, and do identify the skills that you think you've shown in these. And when a question comes up, you will easily be able to give this example without any hesitation, and it will make you feel more comfortable and just confident in your answer. Another tip that I want to share with you is to remember that they are also human. So if you can't answer a question, do say to them, give me some time to think, or maybe explain it in a different way. And this is a great way of making sure you answer the question right, rather than just talking crap throughout the whole thing and really messing up the whole question, because that's not the best way of going around it, and they know the right answer, so they know if you're just chatting. Moving on to the presentation, there might be different types of presentations. You might be in a group or by yourself, and this might be something that you've prepared beforehand, or you might do on the day. So in group presentations, my biggest advice will be to contribute throughout the whole thing and make sure that everyone gets to speak during the actual presentation. When preparing the presentation by yourself on the day, you would usually get a lot of information that you have to just skim through and identify key points and what your solution will be. And I would suggest just making your presentation really clear conclusions that you can back up. So even including things that may lead to further questions after the presentation might be a good way of having something behind your belt, knowing something more about some of the slides, and just being able to talk through it. Because remember, presentation is not just about the time you are presenting, but you will be assessed afterwards with some questions. So do prepare for this. For presentations that you've prepared beforehand, do make it a really good presentation with a lot of resources and references, offering a unique perspective that you can then well argue when being challenged by the interviewers. So I would just suggest doing something different than others, something that will make you stand out and that the interviewer will remember you for. So when they are assessing you later on, they will know you and remember you straight away. Last tip for all the stages that involve group activities: do remember to stay on task, and if your team is going off tangent on something that's not the question, do remind them what the question is, because it is so easy to just get caught up in this circle of everyone trying to build upon each other's ideas, but you're going in the wrong direction. And do politely just redirect them back to what the task actually is, because that will just make sure that you've done the correct thing. For example, I've had this situation where we spent the whole time working on a question which wasn't even the question being asked from us, and then later on, when they wanted us to tell them our answers, we were just talking crap, and it was not a good answer, and this is where we all went wrong. And I can't stress this enough. It's a simple thing to just look at the question one more time, even in the middle of your task, but this will make sure you are actually answering the right questions. If you found this video useful and you've enjoyed watching it, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. I'll be providing you with more content related to employability and productivity, as well as just education and maybe some fun stuff as well. So thank you for watching. Bye.